The most valuable skill that you need to learn in trading is not what you think. There are so many videos out there on the internet that are full with fluff, nonsense, that are going to link you to some course that you have to buy that don't even talk about how important this skill is. Some traders kind of hint at it, they glaze over it, but they don't really talk about how valuable it is to master one characteristic, one skill that is going to consistently keep you making money and effectively keep you from losing money when it comes to trading. Because we all know making money in trading is a goal, but it's arguably just as important to not lose money. And this one skill is what pro traders use to not end up messing up their gains. My name is Sumi with Team Basani. I'm a full-time trader. I've been trading for over a decade. And I'm gonna be very honest with you, I still have to get better at this skill. I still practice it every single day. If you ever wanna trade with me and see how I make a ton of money and live the lifestyle that I live, click the link down below. I would love to have you in my private group. But with that being said, let's talk about the most important skill that you need to know for trading. Now, I'm gonna talk about two things right off the start. The technical analysis and obviously looking at news. Are these very important? Which one do I trade with? Which one do I use? I don't like to rely on just technical analysis itself. I have many examples where, there's great technical indicators and things actually make sense. Whether it's RSI, whether it's MACD, whether it's candlestick patterns, whether it's looking at moving averages in the EMA and looking at, things that are respected when it comes to trading, but there are still movements that stocks and charts make that are irregular and that don't make sense for technical analysis. So technical analysis can always be destroyed by news. And news in itself can also be prevented or really restricted by technical analysis. For example, if something bad happens in the market where the market is going down, there are supply zones for a lot of big ETFs that buyers are going to step in and buy in when they see the RSI go down, when they see situations where things are not going to make sense or it hits a certain EMA. So even though news may be negative, it doesn't necessarily mean the stock is going to go down. In fact, there's a lot of situations where we have great earnings reports with a lot of stocks this week and things don't necessarily work out the way that they're supposed to. So I want you to understand that just because you understand technical analysis and you understand the news does not mean that you're going to be a good trader. It may help you make some money, but it could also prevent you from really seeing the risks when it comes to the market. So the number one skill when it comes to trading is not trading. Sounds completely backwards. This is not a clickbaity title. I'm being serious with you right now. You need to learn how to wait for proper setups. I think that most traders go into the market and they try to take something and they always want to be in a position. And trust me, I'm a trader that is very much like I want to be in a position. I want to be looking at something. I want to be seeing how things are going, whether they're good or bad. I want to have active work that I am managing because I'm here to make money. In the theoretical logic of trading, there's always a stock that's moving up and down. There's always something that's going to be happening in the day. Even on the bad days, there's stocks that are moving up. Even on the green days, there's stocks that are moving down. And when there's a movement, as option traders, we can make money with really anything, whether it's from calls or puts. So there's always something, right? There's always some kind of FOMO that we have when it comes to trading. So many times people take trades just because they don't want to be in FOMO, because they are addicted to being in a position. And I think that that's something that I struggled with when I was a new trader, because I would constantly have to be in a position. If I was not in calls, I was in puts. If I was not in puts, I was looking at something else to get into, whether it's a swing, whether it's a scalp. And my point is, you don't need to be in a position every single second. Sometimes it's better to wait for the right setup, get a big, massive hit that's almost guaranteed instead of trying to take a bunch of risky trades. When you take a lot of trades, you're increasing your exposure. Every time you take a trade, you are also increasing the chance that you can lose money. It's better to make a lot of money off of a few trades than to make consistent profits off of a lot of trades, because the probability of you losing increases on a technical aspect when you take a lot of different positions. As someone that takes 3 to 4 trades a day on average, it is not good to constantly enter into positions and constantly lose positions. Trust me, it's not. And it's also not good to constantly enter into positions and take small profits because you are risking 100% each position you're going into. So it's much better to risk 100% when you're going for a 300 to 400% gainer than 100% when you're going for a 20 to 30 to 40% hit. There are certain situations where I do take a lot of 40 to 80% hits because the market is choppy and I can't take as much moves or as much positions that are going to get me long-term gains or bigger gains. There are certain situations where I have to go in quick and out and kind of scalp it and be like a surgeon. But for the most part, it's better to sit and wait and avoid the choppiness, avoid the craziness. It's better to be a patient trader. People talk about a lot of times, we have to sit on our hands and wait for our correct setup. And as corny and cringy as that sounds, that's some real shit. That's some real shit that a lot of people don't have down. A lot of traders don't have the discipline to sit there and not do anything. Trading is boring. I sit there for hours of the day looking at these charts, looking at numbers. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my mind, just staring at numbers and charts, moving up and down for no actual reason. In fact, today I stared at the charts for many hours, watching it chop up and down within a 40-cent range. Up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. That's all it did. And I could have been sitting there and micro-scalping everything. But the moment that it doesn't decide to move the way that I want it to, it's going to be an L for me. So you can't do that. You can't necessarily rely on that strategy either. And I know a lot of you like that, but you can't do that. It's very, very dangerous, because if it does end up breaking support or resistance, you're fucked on your trade, whatever it is. If you grab it at the top looking for it to go down, you could be screwed. If you grab it at the bottom looking for it to go up and it still goes down, you're in a bad position, because the way that options go, if they move against you, you're not only losing the position in terms of the value moving against you, but you're also losing it in time, because it needs to go that direction, take its time there, whether it's moving for 20 to 30 to, more time, and then you have to wait for it to rebound, if it does rebound at all. So I'm telling you something you need to understand. You need to learn to wait for proper setups if you want to be a successful trader. And the majority of traders are not trained, are not disciplined enough to not do something on a day, and they feel like they need to do something constantly jump in a setup. If it's not your A+ setup that makes sense on every single level, don't take it. Seriously, don't take it. It will end up losing you money. You will have less money to play with. You'll be able to size less in positions, and you will effectively lose more. I hope this video makes sense. I hope this was a skill that you can implement into your trading strategy. Some of the best traders I know don't take a lot of trades. They may take only 12 to 20 trades a year, and that might be like nothing for you guys, but they make more money than anybody else, because those 12 to 20 they're sized up on, they have A+ setups, and they're really able to hit gold when they crank them out of the park. So appreciate you guys for watching this video. Love you guys so much. If you ever want to trade with me, link down below. Till next time, Sumi out.